Year 3, so today starts term 4 and we're moving on to our new unit, which is measurement. So today we're looking at measuring length. So you might be familiar with some of these things, you might not, but I'm going to show you some different techniques or different things we use to measure length. So we've got the ruler, which hopefully you will use to underline. I'm going to bring this closer so you can see. Measures along in centimetres and millimetres on one side and inches across the other. So everyone should be familiar with a ruler. We also have a metre stick. Sometimes we use this in maths and accounting doing our times tables. So this is 1 metre in length and it counts along in 10 centimetres. Hopefully you can see that along there. Also got a trundle wheel. So normally you would roll this across the floor. This is used when you're measuring longer distances. And what happens when you start here, when you wheel across from your starting point, it will click. 1, 2. So it'll tell you how many metres that is counting in. We also have a tape measure. So sometimes you find them in the machine and you have to pull them out and they're a bit harder, made of metal. This one is a fabric one used for clothing. So on here you have centimetres like we do on the ruler, and you also have inches and inches across the back. Nice and big there for you. So they're the most common things we use to measure. And we're going to work through our PowerPoint today and see what kind of measurements we come up with. So here we go. Let's have a look at some questions together. Which of these measurements describes length? So we have 2 metres, 2 litres, 2 kilograms and 2 centimetres. So have a think now. Which of those two do we use to describe length? What do you think, Mrs. Upchurch?
Well, I don't think it can be kilograms because I remember something from before about grams being to measure weight.
Oh, good observation.
You've said something about a metre stick, and also I know that a ruler has centimetres on it. So I think it's 2 metres and 2 centimetres. I'm not sure about litres though.
You are completely correct. 2 metres, and you are right there. We had a metre stick, which I showed you earlier, and 2 centimetres. You normally see that on your ruler as well. So 2 litres is normally used to describe liquid, and 2 kilograms you normally see in baking because that's to describe weight. So well done. Okay, question number 2 then. Match each length to a sensible estimate. So we've got the height of a giraffe, the size of a ladybird, and the length of your thumb. And I have these here, 5 centimetres, 5 metres or 5 millimetres. Now without measuring, we're trying to estimate and have a guess here. So have a think now what you think it might be, and then we'll go through them together. Okay, Mrs. Upchurch, what do you think? I might need a hand here.
Okay, well, the size of a ladybird has got to be the smallest because that's really tiny.
Oh, I think so as well.
So which one of those measurements, Miss McCartney, is the smallest?
Oh, now I know that centimetres are quite small because I see them on the ruler, but millimetres are even smaller. So I'm going to say the ladybird is 5 millimetres.
Now, the height of the giraffe has got to be the biggest because I know that's definitely bigger than my thumb. So which one out of 5 centimetres or 5 metres is the biggest?
Well, if you think about your ruler and then you think about the metre stick we had earlier, 5 metres must be 5 of those metre sticks. That's quite big. So I'm going to go for the giraffe for 5 metres, which means your thumb must be about 5 centimetres. There we are. That was really good there. We worked through with our skills and we deducted which ones it could be and which ones it couldn't. So well done. Okay, question number 3 then. Complete these statements. 1 metre equals how many centimetres? Have a think for me. If we look at our metre stick, how many centimetres are on our metre stick? Do you know, Mrs. Upchurch?
Well, it's got to be more than 30 because one of our rulers goes up to 30 centimetres. So it's got to be more than 30. Yeah. So I'm guessing probably 100.
Oh, 100 is perfect. 1 metre is equal to 100 centimetres. Well done. So what about 1 centimetre then? If we were to look on our ruler and we were to look at our centimetres along here, you can see any of these points is 1 centimetre and the small dashes in the middle indicate a millimetre. So how many millimetres are in 1 centimetre? Any ideas?
I'm sure I could count them quite quickly, Miss McCartney, and I'm sure there were 10.
Fantastic, well done. There are 10 millimetres in 1 centimetre. So 10 millimetres in 1 centimetre and 100 centimetres in a metre. Quite a mouthful, but quite easy to practice some on our own. Let's have a chance to learn some more. So here we go, and we've got Tommy here, and he's trying to measure the brick, and he's really struggling. So we have 3 top tips for you to remember when trying to use a ruler. So our top tips for Tommy are, make sure you start with the centimetre side of the ruler. So this side down here was the inches, this side is the centimetres. So we've got that ready. The next top tip is to line up the edge of your item with the 0 on your ruler. So 0 is where you start counting from, like we do if we're counting in normal numbers. And we're going to line that up with your item. So you put that on the edge, and then you're going to make sure you're counting, or measuring should I say, from the 0 all the way across your item here. So if we were looking at this, the length of this brick would be 5 centimetres. So nice and easy, if you remember the rules. Okay, Tommy now wants to measure the height of the brick too. So the same as before, you make sure you're on the centimetre side of the ruler, starting at the 0, and you're measuring from the 0 to the top. So have a look on here for me. How many centimetres high do you think the brick is? I'll give you a second now to think about that. I think it's 2 centimetres, let's check. Yeah, the brick is 2 centimetres tall. So well done if you got that right as well at home. Okay, so Rosie is now measuring the packet of crowns. So she's lined hers up from the 0, which is fantastic. And hers goes all the way across here to 90. She said the pack of crowns is 90 centimetres long. Now I don't know about you, but crowns aren't normally that big. 90 centimetres is quite a lot. I'm looking at her ruler and I've noticed this ruler counts in mm. So that is millimetres. So Rosie's packet of crowns is 90 millimetres long. So if we're looking at that as centimetres, it would be 9 centimetres or 90 millimetres. So it's really important you know what your ruler is measuring in. So Rosie's now measuring one of the crowns. She started at 0, which is fantastic. And her crown doesn't fit perfectly on one of the millimetre big dashes here. So we have to zoom right in so we can get a better look. So this is right in the middle between 40 and 50. So what is in the middle of 40 and 50? Have a think for me. You're right, 5 is always in the middle from 0 to 10. So 5 is going to be in the middle from 40 to 50. So it's 45. So the crown is 45 millimetres long. Oh, pencil, not crown, sorry. Okay, last question then. So this toy car is 125 millimetres long. Well, it's definitely a millimetre ruler. If I'm looking across the edge, it's in the middle of 120 and 130. So 125, I'm happy with that. But do you think the toy car is 125 millimetres long? True or false? What do you think, Mrs. Upchurch?
I think he has missed one of the main rules in that.
Ah,
You know the main rules that you were talking about at the beginning?
Are right. He hasn't started measuring his toy car from the 0. He started measuring from the 30 millimetres. So he's not right. It's not 125 millimetres long. He would be false. Could you still work out, Mrs. Upchurch, how long the toy car is? It's still on a ruler.
Well, I'm sure we could either do it 2 ways. We could either stick to your main rules and move the ruler so that the 0 is in line with the beginning of his car.
That would be definitely easier.
Or else, if we're taking 125 millimetres, we could do our subtraction and do 125 take away the 30.
That he's missing here. That would be really good. So you're right. Either way, you can either move the toy car along, which I would like to do because I think that's easier, or you could do 125 take away 30, and I'm going to use my number bonds there. And I know 25 down to 100. Leaves me with 5 left. It's 95 millimetres long. So you are right, he is false. That's not how long his car is. Okay, we can have a look at this last one now for me then. We've got 2 different colour blocks. We've got a green block and an orange block. What do you notice? Have a look. What do you notice about these blocks? Okay, the green bar is 5 centimetres long. So although he's not started with the golden rule starting at 0, you can see it's gone from 1 centimetre to 6 centimetres. So if we do what Mrs. Upchurch did earlier, 6 centimetres take away the 1 is 5 centimetres. The orange bar is 6 centimetres long. Well, this one's starting from 9 to 15. If we counted on 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, that would be 6 centimetres. The orange bar is 1 centimetre longer than the green bar. Yes, it is. 6 is 1 bigger than 5. And there is a gap of 3 centimetres between the bars. Let's have a look. Oh, it's gone off again. Let's have a quick look. Here we go. 1 centimetre, 2 centimetre, 3 centimetre. That's true. And the last one, the total length of the bars is 11 centimetres. Well, the whole whole ruler here is showing me 15. How do you think they've got the total length of the bars, Mrs. Upchurch?
It would make sense, Miss McCartney, to add the green bar and the orange bar together. If we know the green bar is 5 and the orange bar is 6 centimetres, if we add the two together and it makes 11.
Fantastic. So he is right. The total length of the bars is 11 centimetres. Thank you, Mrs. Upchurch. Well, hopefully that helped you today with measuring. You have a chance now to practice some questions on your own. We look forward to seeing where you get up to. Bye.
Good luck.